Hello, my gorgeous friends. This is your coach, Dr. Ramon Llamba, and I would love to talk today about one of my most frequently asked questions: how can I get people to like me?
It's important we understand what is our relationship with ourselves. Because when you understand the whole context of life, most of our spiritual texts and most of the textbooks have stated that your life is only a reflection of your inner reality. And when we look at this law of correspondence that states, as above, so below, as within, so without. So our relationship with ourselves defines our relationship with others. Now, who is this self that we are talking about? When you actually go within to dive down inside and understand the true self, we all are born with the divinity and the essence of God within us. But based on our childhood programming, our fetal programming, our past life memories, we end up acquiring a false identity or a false self, which we call the ego self, ego, ego. That means edging God out. Yes, when we edge the God out within us, we put on a mask of a false identity and we hide the true self within us, and we pick up negative beliefs about ourselves based on our early childhood conditioning that I'm not good enough, I'm not loved and accepted for who I am. There is a dark side of me that is not acceptable by people outside me. And all of these negative experiences become our hardwired negative beliefs and programs. And we start vibrating at rejecting our own negative aspects of ourselves. And let's make a guess, guys. If you are vibrating at rejection for self, or if you're vibrating at a judgment for self, what is the frequency that you're emitting out? It's obvious, it's a negative frequency, and people get those vibes and they judge you for what you are judging yourself for. Yes, people will treat you exactly the way your false self treats your true self. So the first thing, if you need to change your relationships outside, you have to go within and change your own relationship with yourself, because everything outside you is only a reflection of your relationship with yourself. My dear gorgeous friends, if you love yourself, then you're vibrating at self-love, and people get your vibes, because vibration speaks louder than words and actions. People get it and people will love you back, because whatever you vibrate at, whatever you give out comes back to you. So the best way to really answer this question is, how do you get people to like you, is by you falling back in love with yourself. Another thing I really want to get clear on is, we walk around like emotional beggars, expecting people to love us. But I want you to understand that each one of us is carrying an emotional void, and each one of us is conditioned by our childhood programs, where we all have a false perception of our true self, that we are not good enough. So how can anybody love you when they themselves don't have a relationship with themselves? Stop being an emotional beggar. It is not their job to love you. Can anybody eat food for you? Can anybody digest food for you? No, right? How can anybody love you? How can anybody understand you? Because they don't even know the concept of self-love. They don't even know what love feels like. But the whole game turns around when you see God within yourself, when you find your true identity, overcoming the false identity that you have acquired from your environment. And when you find that essence of divinity within you, you really fall back in love with you. And then you're vibrating at this whole frequency of self-love, and you attract love back. So to conclude this, I would like to tell you, love is not something that we get from people. Love is something that we attract by falling in love with ourselves. Self-love is very elegant. Self-love is the state to be in. because true self-love is coming from a space of I'm enough and I really don't need anybody to love me, because I know when I love myself enough, people will love me and like me for who I am. And the side effect of this is people will accept all your flaws. People will actually see you for who you truly are without judging you for your negatives. So it's important for you to really embrace all the negatives and the positives about you and actually come back to you. Your soul is the one that is waiting for you to come back and feed yourself with love. Need feed yourself. It's like when you're hungry, you eat food and you fill your stomach, right? So when you have an emotional void, you gotta love yourself and fill yourself up. Nobody can do it for you. It's your job. With that, I would just like to tell you, today after you watch this video, just fall back in love with who you really are and stop expecting other people to love you and like you. To know more about all of this, please hit the bell icon, subscribe to my YouTube videos, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. This is your friendly life coach, Ramon Llamba, and I would love to hear your comments below on this video.